Hey guys, so this is a really cool story. This is, we're coaches, we help people, but we also like to make money, right? I mean, disclaimer and all. So I wanted to bring up somebody, she is the top earner on my team, Legendary, and she started off as a discount coach, actually made fun of me. Right, get up, Melissa. Actually made fun of me when, I go to her music class and she'd complain about her stomach and she's like, oh, my stomach. I'm like, why don't you just try the Shakeology? Like, what? Like, I'm not here to convince you, just try it. And she's like, nah, I'm not drinking. I eat my food. I'm like, all right, screw you in my head. But I was like, whatever. So then she just saw me posting and talking about it and helping people. And then she was just kind of interested, so I brought it up again. And she's like, all right, I'll try it. Legit, drank it, loved it, put the little mustache, and said, got Sacco. I took that picture, and my team that's here that's been with me, I took that picture, I put it in my team page, and I said, watch this girl, she's gonna be a coach. And so I approached her, and I said, okay, so let's get you set up with Shakeology. I never really asked you. I just kind of said, let's get you set up with Shakeology, we'll get you a program, and you'll be good to go. I said, but sign up as a coach. Don't worry, you don't have to coach anyone. We'll do it for the discount. She's all about budget and discount, and she was like, I'm game. And then, boom, magic happened. Melissa has a heart of gold. She'll do anything for anyone. She'll stay on the phone with you for an hour, not about buying a challenge pack, because she gets to the person and what their goals are. The transformation she's made just with herself, personal development, the financial transformation she's made is amazing. So I'd like to bring up Mark Sacco, my discount coach.
Okay, I don't do microphones because they make me nervous.
Well, good.
So
Guess what? Here. I'm super loud. I'm super duper loud. Okay, so I figured that if I was going to show up today, the one thing that I have learned is if you're going to share something, you better share value. So I actually wrote something up, and I want to share with you a little bit about my story. My husband's going to come up and share his part in this business and our transformation in the family, because I know that that is a huge, huge obstacle for a lot of coaches, is not having spousal support or family support in the business. Not just the health and fitness component, but the business perspective of becoming an entrepreneur, really diving into this opportunity to create financial freedom and flexibility for yourself, which is what we have been able to achieve as a family unit, which is incredible. So, at the first time that I came to Super Saturday was 2 years ago, and I stood up and I was asked to speak just about my story about my health transformation and the pooping. And I was like, sure, I guess. So I wore Keds, I wore this jacket. I haven't changed who I am, I just changed who I wanted to become. And so I think it's important that as you share your story, that you really learn about yourself and share just who you are. But I'm gonna ask a couple questions. So before I share my top tips and bring up my husband, I'm gonna ask, who in this room would like to earn consistently $100 a month or more? Okay, keep your hands up. Who in this room, since the first day that they decided to commit to coaching, has shown up every single day on social media? That is the one thing that I have done that I think makes the difference in being successful or not. I might have failed every day, but ever since I started, I just showed up. And that was the one lesson that Sarah taught me, was no matter what you do, no matter what happens in your life, you have to show up. So who thinks that their biggest obstacle in showing up or in being successful in the business is time management? And that's one of the reasons that your business is either not successful or you're not thriving, okay? How about family support? Is that your biggest obstacle? Well, you got one, okay. Fear of social media. No. Or knowing how to share your story, or knowing how to post. That's your biggest obstacle, okay? How about the inviting process? Is that your biggest obstacle?
I'm gonna tell you that your hands should all be down. The biggest obstacle is you. And what I wanna say is, from this moment, no matter what you've done already in the business, or if you haven't started it, completely forget it. Because you have to be willing to start over every single day. So when the first day that I launched my business, I had no idea what I was doing. But I didn't care. I saw the opportunity, I watched somebody I knew and somebody I trusted. It wasn't an infomercial, it wasn't somebody on TV, and I think that's the value of having a coach, is it's people that you know, it's people that you can build trust with, that are there to lead you. And so I watched Sarah, and I said, you know what? I see that opportunity for my family, and I need a job. Like, yeah, I need to feel better, but I also need a job. And I need flexibility, and I need to be home with my kids, but I also don't feel fulfilled just being home with my kids. And I needed something for me. So, you know, I have these like 5 tips, and then I'm gonna actually have my husband come up and share his story of just a little bit about the struggles that we went through in the beginning as far as the business, and how we did not have balance because I didn't have balance. And I still struggle with that because I'm so passionate about this business. It's very, very hard for me to turn it off. But forget everything that you've done and just think, and this is something that Sarah taught me, is instead of saying, what if I fail, or what if this doesn't work, just ask yourself, what if it does work? And ask yourself, why not me? And you really have to believe that and then take action. And so putting your blinders on and being consistent, like I said, showing up every day. And I loved in the video, the corporate video, how she said, life happens. You know, we've been through lots of ups and downs. We've had deaths in my family. My son was hospitalized. We were in the rocks, like marital struggles. I still showed up in my business, even if it was just posting for a day, even if I couldn't invite that day, even if I ate off my meal plan or felt like crap, I showed up and shared it anyways. So I think that's just something that will help you develop as a person, and knowing that you have that opportunity to just be yourself, and that's enough. But you have to have that no excuse attitude. It's really that simple. Like, I have my top coach there, Corinne, and she's just a true testament that, you know, brain surgery and all, she did not miss a day of showing up on social media. And the one day that she couldn't be present, she had her family post for her. So that is something that, I mean, if you really want this business, that's what it takes. That's it, is just showing up. So, you know, another thing is focusing on the people and not the paycheck. And I think, you know, I want to show you guys something. I wish I had the original image. I have it on the back of my notes. This is what I did to launch my business. It hung over my computer in my front room because I didn't have an office, and I didn't have anywhere to work that I could see the school bus stop, and I was already working, you know, other jobs. So I had to get up at 5:30 in the morning, and I had to stay up and work at 11 o'clock at night for months when I was learning the business. That's when I had the time. And that was a choice, you know, to give up Grey's Anatomy and The Biggest Loser, and because I couldn't help those people on The Biggest Loser, but I could help Bryn, I could help Christy if I would shut The Biggest Loser off and put the business to work, you know? So I drew this picture of, this is what a diamond coach looks like. Now, when I drew this picture, I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know how much a diamond coach would earn. I didn't understand team cycle bonus. I didn't understand that you would earn off of your emerald coaches, that percentage. I just knew that this was my roadmap, and then I started writing down names. And that was it. And I had to focus on the people, not the paycheck. And you know, the pay will come, but not if you're not helping anybody. So this is something that just helped me. I'm very visual. You can find this in the back office, what a diamond coach looks like, but that's truly how I built my business. And I would sit at the computer every day, and I would look at this piece of paper that hung with a scotch tape on my living room wall, and that is how I filled the names in. And every time I would fill a name in, I'd add a new name to the list next to it, because I know, and you know, that not everybody stays with Beachbody. that this isn't the lifestyle opportunity that everybody's going to commit to, and this is definitely not the business opportunity that everybody's going to be willing to put their time into. So you have to keep inviting and keep building your business. And then I reached out to Sarah, and she taught me how to build depth in my organization and taught me how to maximize my income. And yes, my husband was my first coach, and my mother is a coach on our team, and together we built this business so that we could literally duplicate ourselves. We could literally duplicate the income potential by working as a family unit. And so my next tip, hang on, I gotta flip my paper, is be comfortable with being uncomfortable. If your posts are not uncomfortable, then you're not exposing who you are, most likely. And it's the people that will share the struggles that are gonna find their tribe, the people that are gonna stick with this and commit to you and build that loyal relationship. And I think that's so, so important. What inspires people is just the underdog coming out of it. So learn the roadmap, like I said. But once I learned this image, Sarah taught me how to become an Emerald coach, and she led me to the back office training, but that was where I took control and I became a CEO. A stay-at-home mom, I'm not a personal trainer, I'm not a nutritionist. My nutrition was a mess before Beachbody. You don't have to be anything other than consistent and passionate. So, just taking control and not placing that responsibility on your mentor. It's not their responsibility to create success for you. It's just their responsibility to celebrate your success and enjoy the ride with you. And I think that's where a lot of people falter, is they're waiting for their coach to guide them all the way through it. And this is very much an independent business opportunity. So being a CEO is something that I think just allows you to be even more proud of your accomplishments when you achieve them, because you did that. You took ownership of that. And the last thing I will say is, if you're not failing every day, try harder. Because the only way to learn is to fail. So my goal every day is to talk to as many people as I can. I don't focus on the invite to the challenge pack. I focus on starting conversations and following up with conversations and connecting with people. And I've never really focused on closing the deal, but if you need support with that, listen to or read GoPro by Eric Worre, because that is where I learned how to better invite and how I learned to focus on the people. So I'm gonna bring up my husband because he's gonna share his perspective, how we hit some road bumps, some speed bumps. When I first started with the business, it was definitely a struggle because I was getting up early to work the business and I was staying up late to work the business. And that definitely changed the family dynamic. So, but then also, he's now actively co-leading every single one of my challenge groups. He posts in them every day. And, well, I don't know. I like to talk, so I'm gonna go sit down.
Hello, everybody. Let me just tell you how I ended up here today. It's an interesting story, but just how I'm up here right now. Sunday, Melissa goes, "How would you feel about talking on Super Saturday on Friday?" Which is confusing. We're here on Friday, Super Saturday. So I'm like, well, maybe. And during the week, I'm scrolling through my post and I see, oh, guess who's going to be speaking at Super Saturday? So I call her, but you got something to tell me? She goes, what do you mean? I said, am I speaking at something? And yeah, that's how I'm here now. She made that decision. I'm glad. I want to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to get up here and share my story. I'm an emotional person, so if I get a little emotional up here, I'm going to apologize in advance, because a couple years ago, my son, hockey banquet, 200 people out there. I'm the coach, and I'm rifling through all the kids, and then I look over, and there's Eli, the last one. And I just start bawling out of nowhere. And it literally took me a minute to collect myself. And I was beside myself, and then he's looking at me like, Dick, you ever gonna call me up here? So I got him up there, and that's just the type of person that I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I care about people, and it's the same way my wife is. And when she got into the business, I remember Thursdays would come around, and I'd be like, babe, how'd you do? How'd you do? She's like, listen, it's not about focusing on the paycheck. It's about building the relationship. I want to help people out. That'll all fall in place. And I listened to her, and I just kind of sat on the sidelines and I watched her, and I seen the whiteboard in our bedroom. It's getting posted in our bedroom. I'm like, geez, it's hanging right in our bedroom now. So she's building out her pyramid, and I'm like, all right. And I'm seeing her add to it, and I'm like, wow, look at her. She's really going and putting tons of time. And now I'm like, oh my God, all you do is work, and we don't ever have any quality time together, but she's just building her business, and then the pay started to come, and now it's been like a little over we're closing in on, it was 2 years just in January, and I jumped on board right from the beginning with her. Thank you, Sarah, for everything, by the way, for changing our lives, but I was like, there is no way we're spending this money on this, no way, and she's like, well, I'm doing it. She's very independent, and what I say sometimes doesn't go. So there it is. I think it was just before, I can't remember, was it New Year's Eve or right around there? I'm like, you know what?
It was New Year's Eve, and he was drunk, and he said, I want to do this. And I said, tell me tomorrow.
Drinking's not a good thing. So it turned out for this to be a good thing. So I said, you know what? I'm going to support you. You want to try this? I'm going to back you, and I'm going to help you out in your business. And so I took on as a coach, and I've always been kind of, I don't want to say on the sidelines, because I do work the business, but I've been working out for like 30 years, never a power lifter, but I want to try something different. So I've been doing these exercises, and I dropped 17 pounds on the 21-day fix when we started. I'm like, holy cow, I didn't think I had 21 pounds to lose. And people start recognizing it. And I work in a big place, with my primary job, and people ask, and I start funneling business to Melissa, saying, hey, this person's involved, this person is, and so that model worked for us for a while, and as every marriage, whether you want to admit it or not, there's ups and downs in it, and about 3 months ago, I hit rock bottom, where I'm Sicilian, and I've had a temper my whole life. I'm 46 years old, and it got to a point where Melissa's like, I've had enough. She goes, something needs to change. And she's said this to me before, and I changed for a week, and then I go back to my old ways. I'm yelling, I'm the miserable one around the house, and I just took a ride in my truck that day, and I was beside myself. Starting to get emotional, here I go. And I'm like, oh my God, who do I talk to? So I called my 16-year-old son to lean on him. And it was an emotional time for me, because 16 years old, he was there for me. You don't know the right things to say, but Dad, I love you, it's not your fault, and you can work on it, you got a big heart. So I go to the bookstore. I haven't read a book since high school. And now I'm looking, I'm like, what the hell am I going to get? I'm thinking personal development. Melissa always talks personal development. I'm like, this is back to the money, $15 for this book, but what the hell is that going to do for me? And I go to this book, and I'm like, I get back in my truck, I drive home. And Melissa sitting in the bedroom, I could tell she's been crying, and I'm like, babe, I'm broke. You fix people for a living. You need to fix me. And there was a turning point 3 months ago for me, and she told me personal development. And my main man, Hale Elrod, The Miracle Morning, that was my game changer. I don't read, so I listened to the book. I could read, but I'm more, if it's sports, I'll read it, okay? So I start listening to this, and I'm like, this guy is amazing. And I couldn't believe it. I started getting up at 6 in the morning, listening to my personal development, working out with my wife, and she really, at that point, she was doing it to do it, but there was a little bit of a disconnect with us, because she wasn't believing what I was trying to sell. And I'll tell you what, 3 months later, so much has changed. I'm not that guy getting up and rushing out the house and creating a shitstorm, excuse me, I'm sorry, before I leave the house and leaving it with her with the kids. I get up early, I make sure that, I do my personal development every single day. I do meditation sometimes as well, and then I do my workout. Take my shower, and then it's at a point now where I'm like, oh my God, I got 15 minutes. What am I gonna do? I don't know what to do with 15 minutes, but I spend time with the kids. And I'll get Eli on the bus, and it's my whole personality, my outlook on life, my patience, everything, personal development has been such a change for me that I never thought I'd ever be able to get a handle on in my life, and I'm so happy that I did. And so what's recently happened is I've been getting more involved in the business, because I work I make decent money where I work. I have a good job, but this isn't what I want to do my whole life. I'm in the fitness, I'm in the health. I see how happy she is with what she does, and I want to be a bigger part of it. So we've been teaming up more as a couples coach. She does a lot of her independent work, obviously, but if we post as couples, you will be so shocked that I walk around work and people are like, oh my God, stay away from those donuts. You can't touch them donuts. And people don't even recognize us, because people follow you. You might not realize they're following you, but a lot of people are always watching you. And you never know when someone's ready. I just had a guy from high school, and he started to, fish around, and he was watching me, and he asked me some questions, and then all of a sudden he asked to meet with us, and Melissa goes, he's ready. You might have someone that doesn't seem ready when you start talking to them. Usually no one's ever ready in that first conversation you have. But a few months later, when they decide they're ready to get involved, that's their time. But you can't force someone into the game if they're not ready to play. And that's something that I've noticed as well. But I'm super excited because I'm ready to take the next step. My goal is to, I hope no one here, am I live?
No.
All right.
Why? What are you going to say?
Well, I want to talk about my goal is to beat my job and be a full-time Beachbody coach and continue to help people. And so I don't know, I'm lost for words, and I've come such a long way, and in the 2 years, it's just so much has happened in my life, and I'm thankful for that. And once again, Sarah, Melissa, thank you for everything, and I want to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity. I don't know, we do get the questions where, how do I get my husband involved or my significant other? And I am always open to talk to anyone. Do you have a question for me? Here we go.
I have a comment.
Go.
Anytime he told me I worked too much or I was working too hard, I said, I don't care. This is my opportunity. And I did it anyways. And if I hadn't have just had that voice for myself, I don't think he'd be up there. You cannot let anybody tell you that this opportunity is not for you. And you have to lead by example. And if you just focus on yourself, it will naturally spill out into everyone around you. But it's when you let people, those naysayers, come down and say, this isn't working for you, this isn't working for our family, I just kept going, and now I'm standing, this is like 2 years ago, I was up there talking about poop, and now my husband is saying he wants to leave his job, and I'm just like, it's crazy.
This is something that happens all the time, by the way. We do a lot of videos together.
And I interrupt.
I gotta fight for talk time with her because he's always jumping. I'm like, all right, can I get in here? So that's another thing. I was nervous to start shooting videos. I'm thinking, and I can tell you one thing. Just 1 second, let me finish this thought. If there's ever a transparent family out there, it's ours. If you can find one more transparent than us, my wife shares everything, and I had a real struggle with it. I'm like, whoa, what are you putting out there? And I got to learn it's more about, there's so many people out there to help you, support groups. I've been in the groups, I just started doing them 3 months ago as well, and there's so many people having similar problems to you. To be real and tell your story, there's so much help out there. And people are always willing to help each other. So support groups are fantastic, and it's just a whole nother level of taking things to another notch. But you had a question for me, so
I just want
fire
to
away.
add you on Facebook. Can you spell your name?
Mark, with a K, spelled the right way.
His head just went.
Yeah, and then it's SACCO.
Fully centered there.
And yeah, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Thanks everyone again, and wish everyone the best of luck and success in coaching. I'm gonna wrap it up.